All right, guys. So Monday, new week, new possibilities, and new opportunities. Must admit, like, super excited for the week. It's quite a short one. We have some holidays or non-banking days coming up, which means that it's time to wind down a little bit. So it's only Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week, and then I'm not going to be at office for Thursday and Friday. So short week, short but sweet. And as you can see, sun is shining, like really nice temperature outside, and heading into office. And back-to-back client meetings and negotiations on apartments from yesterday's showings. So let's crush it. Alright guys, so currently it's Saturday, and as you can see I haven't recorded that too much over the couple of days, it's no more than it's currently like some kind of banking holidays in Sweden. So like half Thursday, whole of Friday, and then obviously Saturday, Sunday, and then even Monday is like off work. So I just wanted to take those days off and really trying to recharge in a good way. I have so many things in the air, and it gives me so much motivation for to just keep on pushing and like working and do everything I can to achieve the goals I have. But I think it's super important also to like be smart and being okay with that. Like, no matter what you do, you have to be able to sustain it over a long period of time. And I think too many people in these days, like, they crush it and they like work so hard, but they have this kind of mindset that it's more of a sprint than a marathon. And whatever you want to do in life, it's most certainly more like a marathon than a sprint. So I think it's important to be aware of like the tempo you have and which gear you are able to sustain over a longer period of time. And I just have been aware of like the importance of recharging, and like first and foremost, like if I work with something where the majority of people are off work, usually it doesn't happen too much for me as a real estate agent also. And if you are smart, like be free when the majority of your clients are free also, which means that you usually aren't getting too much of emails and stuff. So like be smart in that aspect. That is a really good tip that I am trying to take advantage of, just speaking for myself. And like really trying to work smart and not always necessarily hard. And what I mean by that is that, like, if you have a day and you usually work 8 hours, and if you are a real estate agent, you know, you can work 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, or you can work 2 hours, like it's up to you. But I think it's so important to like be super efficient with your time and having this kind of mindset that when you get to work, you can like go in and crush it, and then do it for like 4 hours, like maximum speed, because I can guarantee you're going to be able to do so much in that period of time. Of course, when you have client meetings and stuff like that, like you can be efficient, but you cannot like do a client meeting in 10 minutes. I think it's very hard to, tailor-made a plan for a seller in those kind of minutes. But I think that is super important, and like being aware of the importance of recharging. And I think, just speaking for myself here, I'm very fortunate to have this kind of insight before eventual burnout and stuff like that. So there's so many people out there that take this kind of mindset at heart after they get burnout, and that is not a good thing, I believe. And I just wanted to try to be as proactive as I can. And I'm 27 years old now. Like, some people that are watching might think that I'm super old, and some people that are watching might think that I'm super young. So like, it's really who you compare yourself with. But I think it's super important, as I mentioned before, like, see success in life and the things you want to achieve as a marathon. And for me, just speaking for myself, like, I know that it's super important to be like off duty and have so many things in there, everything from my long-term goals and the companies I want to build, and social media, and working as a real estate agent, and prepping content, and future visions, and speaking with buddies of mine with business plans. And it's quite a lot going on. And therefore I think it's important to not like be constantly online all the time. And just me speaking of who I am, I would say I'm much more introverted than extroverted. At least, if you look at how I recharge when it comes to my energy, I like to spend time alone and just being by myself, recharging, and like being peaceful, and no people, and just me and my own thoughts and stuff like that. So I think it's super important to understand like how you recharge as a person. Some people like to spend every single time with people because you get so much energy from it, and I'm not that. So I think it's important to be aware of who you are and the best way you recharge your energy. And I'm not going to keep on rambling for 10, 15, 20 minutes now more, but I think it's super important to like know who you are, how do you recharge your energy, like schedule time for it every single week. And me as a real estate agent, I work 6 days a week, so I only have Saturdays usually. And I think it's super important. And one key observation I've done for myself is that I have to at least take a half day off on Saturdays, because if I used to work all the time, like around the clock, it's not going to be sustainable for a longer period of time. So that is an insight I have applied to my life, at least maybe the last 2 months or something like that. And I really feel a great effect from it. So I think try to figure it out for yourself. If I just look back at myself, like 18, 19, 20 years old version of myself, like I would just keep on going and pushing and all the time. But I think it's super important to like take half a day off. Like, it's basically nothing if you work efficient all the other days. And I think my key message here is that work smart, but be able to recharge also in a great manner. And like, you are not a weak person for doing that. And as long as you look yourself in the mirror and that I'm doing everything I can with the time I am supposed to work to get myself where I want to be, like, you're the only person who know if you're slacking or not. But I really want to put out a message out there that it's super important to recharge and take care of yourself, working out, eating healthy, like taking care of yourself. Because like, if you don't, you're not going to last for the success marathon the way I see it. So I would really encourage you to take some time off when you feel like it, and not being afraid of what other people might say, not because that they're going to know anyways, but and also one important, if I look at myself, how do I make sure that I recharge? I do that by saying no to things. It's not harder than that. Like, I block time in my calendar. So usually after lunch on Saturdays, like, I'm free. I can watch a movie for 4 hours if I want to do that. Of course, it doesn't happen because I have so many thoughts and things I want to do. But yeah, watching a TV series or taking 4 hour walk in nature, I think that is very important. And yeah, it gives me a lot of motivation. And usually, like when from lunch and when it comes to the evening, I like it tingling in my fingers, and I just wanted to keep on working and improving and stuff. So I think that is a great feeling to have, so you don't feel exhausted and stuff like that. So yeah, 2 messages. It's okay to recharge and say no to things, because then yeah, things will be great. So that is everything from me now. Just wanted to have a quick chat with you guys. So I'm all good. I am yeah, just being smart and taking some time off. Nothing more than that. And yeah, see you tomorrow, guys.